Boruto TBV VORTEX Chapter 13 is right around the corner, fellas. Only 2 more weeks until we get to witness the best manga out right now. Honestly, I can't wait. I'm gonna be going live as soon as the spoilers come out. We do this kind of thing every month, so if you're interested in being a part of that, then make sure you subscribe and make sure those post notifications are turned on. Before we get into today's video, I won't feel right if I don't take the time to thank you guys for allowing me to reach 7,000 subscribers. It's been a pretty interesting journey so far. I'd be lying if I said I expected to receive all the love that I did from the Boruto community. But since we're here, I promise to do everything in my power to not disappoint you guys. But anyway, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And without further ado, let's hop into the video. Let's talk a little bit about the Shinju. My last video, I went over the many possibilities the story could go according to the current situation that Boruto and the others find themselves in. Even though Hidari is gone, permanently or for the moment, they still have to deal with Jura, the strongest Shinju, all while Boruto is down with a serious injury. Sarada isn't 100% either, and KAWAKI is, well, fodder. So it's not a good situation no matter how you look at it. But some way, somehow, it can still get worse than it already is. You see, even though we love to clown on KAWAKI, I'm definitely guilty of it myself. But no matter how I felt, we still gotta admit, KAWAKI is probably still the second strongest character there with his karma activated. The gap between him and Sarada might be smaller than the gap between him and Boruto, but he still is very capable if he does get serious. However, we all know no matter what KAWAKI does at this point, he's just nowhere near Jura's level. Well, for right now anyway. But what if I told you KAWAKI fighting Jura would lead to an even worse outcome than if he didn't? And it's not how you think it will go, I promise. So let's look at the current situation a little more closely. Let's say Boruto can't fight anymore because of his injury. That leaves only Konohamaru, Sarada, and KAWAKI the only fighters left. Everyone else either incapacitated or not present at the time. Jura is most likely still looking to devour Himawari since that is still his target, but he knows to do that, he would need to first dispose of KAWAKI and the others trying to protect her. If that's the case, I can definitely see next chapter mainly focusing on a battle trying to protect Himawari. Or if worse comes to worse, it could be to protect both Boruto and Himawari. Since Jura did state that he wanted to unalive Boruto because of him knowing about the Thorn Souls, here I believe the chapter can go a number of ways. While I think KAWAKI still tries to fight Jura no matter who he goes after, either Boruto or Himawari, KAWAKI losing against Jura and on the verge of being killed, that could act as a catalyst for new events to occur. Some of the characters that we haven't seen yet is Eida, Damon, and Mitsuki. Normally, someone like Mitsuki would join the fight right away. He's still a Konoha shinobi, and with his friends and sensei in grave danger, I've been questioning his whereabouts for a very long time. However, now, I feel there's no better time for them to be introduced into the battle, especially when you look at past chapters and the narratives those chapters entail. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I think it's pretty obvious with Mitsuki's case. He just fought with Boruto not too long ago because he thought he was trying to unalive KAWAKI. At the end of their fight, he learned that Boruto was actually the sun that illuminates his moon, or maybe he knows it, but is still trying to accept it. He knows Boruto has a point, especially after all this time he was questioning if KAWAKI was really the sun that he'd been searching for. Mitsuki knew all along that something wasn't right. He'd been struggling internally all these years because of fearing that he lost his son. If Mitsuki truly digs deep and accepts the truth that's been presented to him, I see him finally coming to Boruto's aid in his time of need. And even if he didn't fully accept the truth, the small chance that Boruto could actually be his son would push Mitsuki into the fight anyway. I mean, either way, Boruto and KAWAKI will need the extra help that Mitsuki provides. I haven't mentioned this a lot, but even though Mitsuki may not be strong enough to fully take down someone like Jura by himself, his Sage Mode could prove to be very useful in a battle against the Shinju, who even though have the abilities and appearance of those that it absorbed, they still are basically reincarnates of the Ten Tails. And one thing we learned from Naruto, any technique enhanced with nature energy, or Shinjutsu, is very effective against Ten Tails, even said to be its weakness. As we keep discussing, it's starting to make more and more sense that someone like Mitsuki shows up soon. Granted that the last time we seen Mitsuki was when he was talking with Eida. I would suspect he would still be stationed there to keep watch over Eida and Daemon. But if Eida states that Boruto is in dire trouble of being unalived by Jura, I would think that Mitsuki just sets off to the battle site to try to lend a hand. I also feel the same about Eida. Even though she may not care about Boruto all that much, I still think her going to the battle site is a very high possibility as well. If KAWAKI fights Jura and loses, which is a high possibility, there's a chance Jura won't be as forgiving this time. If he does choose to permanently eliminate KAWAKI, I think Eida and Damon come to his aid as quickly as possible. Okay, let me just clear up the part with Damon. I'm pretty sure you all know this right now, but he doesn't care what happens to KAWAKI. He even says it to his face that he doesn't care. It's his big sister that cares about him. And just because of that, he'll automatically get drawn into the fight. If Eida puts herself in danger or even tells Damon to protect her, then Damon has no choice but to fight. You see, there's really no possible direction the story can go that can keep Eida or Mitsuki out of the fight at this point. It makes too much sense no matter how you look at it. Even if KAWAKI wasn't in danger, there's still a chance that Eida joins Mitsuki in wanting to save Boruto. Since Eida said she wanted to have a conversation with him and that she was interested in him because of his ability to convince Mitsuki that he was Boruto, all while being under the influence of her omnipotence ability. That's an argument you can make to push the narrative that Eida tries to help Boruto along with Mitsuki, or at least I think so anyway. Most likely it'll be KAWAKI being in trouble that really moves Eida to the battlefield. But Boruto can also get that same reaction from her, albeit probably not as urgent. But nonetheless, it should result in the same ending. Now you have two more fighters in Damon and Mitsuki trying to fight Jura, while Eida most likely sits in the background and tries to help KAWAKI. Even though seeing Mitsuki and Sarada fight will be exciting to watch, the real attraction here is Damon for sure. Just off the pure fact that we know he's supposed to be one of the strongest in the verse, at worst, second strongest to Boruto. But we can't confidently say that because the last time we seen Damon fight was against a No Limit Code, who he demolished, and by the look of it, a bit easier than Boruto did. Someone who hasn't even come close to using their full power ever, beating the strongest characters in the verse with extreme ease, and having a Shinjutsu that makes you basically untouchable. I'm pretty sure that we would love to see him match up against one of the strongest villains this series has ever seen. Judging by this fight, we'll definitely get to see how close Boruto closed the gap between him and Damon within these past 3 years. And I also been wondering how Damon's Shinjutsu would match up against these beings that mainly act off pure instinct instead of intent. Now earlier in the video, I stated that KAWAKI fighting could actually make the situation worse than it already is. I think because KAWAKI losing to Jura, forcing Eida and the others into the fight, we see a situation where Jura could actually feel a bit pressured. No matter how strong we think Jura is, I believe he'll still have his hands full with Damon. With Mitsuki and Sarada in the background assisting him, it could become very overwhelming. Overwhelming to the point where I could see Jura summoning the rest of the Shinju to help even out the fight. It would make sense because with Eida at the battle site, that would mean all of the targets are gathered in one area. Himawari, Konohamaru, and Eida. The perfect situation for the Shinju to take advantage of. And it'll make devouring Himawari that much easier for Jura. Remember, they can move instantaneously because of the claw marks, so it's not like Jura would need that much time anyway. With the bug clone after Eida, it would force Damon to back off Jura for a while to protect his sister, creating an opening for Jura to act however he pleases. Many possibilities could come out of Eida and the others joining the fight. It's to the point where I don't think them joining in the battle makes the situation any better. But one thing for sure, it would make the story that much more interesting. So let's add this to the wide number of possibilities. Along with Momoshiki appearing in the Kashin Koji chapter, we could get a chapter where the rest of the Shinju get involved, as well as fighters like Mitsuki or even Damon. I believe we could see the story go in any of these directions, and it would all make perfect sense if it did. Like I said before, I'm definitely going to be going live with you guys to see which direction the story takes. I'm also going to be uploading the hot takes video next to get your take on what you think will happen in chapter 13. I made a community post for y'all to comment under for me to pick out 10 comments, but I'll be looking under this video as well for hot takes, just so more people have a chance to be in the next video. But anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did and want to see more videos like this, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure to turn on the post notifications as well so you know when I upload or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next video, I'm gonna catch y'all boys and girls later, and I'm out. Peace.